More important than tactical. Hey everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. What I'd like to talk to you guys today about is I'm a tactical guy. I'm security, defense, all that kind of stuff, patrolling, the things. But even that, taking that into account, what do I think is more important for you to be doing as a prepper? First off, this is the final resting place of our 13-year-old lab, Mabel. She passed away. So we've had a little bit of a rough time. She's a family member. We loved her so much. We loved her so well. I can say that. She was such a loved dog. So I know that she's happy. I know that she's running around playing with a bunch of other puppies and having fun. And here in just a sec, I will show you our next family member. This is Loden. He's a 9-week-old lab mix that we have worn out this morning, and he is just out of it, taking a nap. But we're going to socialize him well, train him well, take him on our overlanding trips. Speaking of overlanding trips, if you haven't checked out our overlanding channel, you got to check it out. Awesome stuff there, encouragement, bugging out, practical application for prepping also. And that is Haven Ridge Adventures on YouTube and Instagram. So check us out. But anyway, let's get into the actual video. So what is it exactly I feel is more important than tactical? This is more important than tactical. Growing a garden. And why do I say that? Because SHTF, End of the World, WROL, Teotihuacan, all that stuff is going to happen. But what is more likely? That you will be engaged in a firefight and have to use your tactical abilities? Or that you'll have to eat? It's a lot more common that you're going to have to eat, right? So being a tactical guy, my garden, my food preps are way more important than my tactical ability. So I just wanted to show you around a little bit. As you saw there, a bunch of tomatoes. There's peas that I still got to string up stuff. We had strawberries. There's another bed right there with peas and tomatoes, peas and tomatoes. They didn't all come up, as you can see the dirt areas there on the right-hand bed, but I just replanted a bunch. Plenty of time for another harvest. So those will all come up really well. I'm sure I overplanted, so we're going to have crazy amounts of peas. Producing lots of food is very, very important. Like I said, more important than tactical stuff, even though I'm a tactical guy. As you see the potatoes, and where Mabel was laid to rest, if you guys have watched my videos for a while, you may recognize that spot, was full of potatoes. So what we did is we harvested them. We got a 5-gallon bucket full of potatoes, almost all the way full, about 3/4. And then we're filling this in. We're going to put some more rocks down here. We're going to put some more dirt from the woods behind our house here. And then we're going to plant a bunch of wildflowers. And that's just going to be like a little flower garden for Mabel. That will be really cool. And as you guys have seen here before, plum tree and plum tree. We got the asparagus, doing its fern thing. But they're starting to grow up again also. Like there's some more stalks right there. The garden's doing really well. Let me move over here. You can kind of see right there the Jerusalem artichokes, but you can't get the full breadth of them until I go like this. They are, let me see, that's at least 9 foot tall, maybe 10 foot tall-ish. Jerusalem artichokes. Look into them if you don't know anything about them. Low on the glycemic index. They're good for diabetics. High in protein. They are an invasive species. They grow naturally in the United States. Native Americans used to plant them along their trade routes and their hunting routes for food. They're a tuber like a potato. You can cook them just like you do a potato. They are drought resistant. They are just an amazing thing to grow. So I highly recommend Jerusalem artichokes. The only downside is they give you gas. So ease into it, use them a little bit at a time, mixed with potatoes, and just, over time you can get your body used to it. and start using more of them. In here we got some yellow crookneck squash, yellow summer squash, as you see right there. They're doing really well. They're going to be producing here pretty soon. There's some tomatoes in here also. Oh yeah, some flowers, keep the bugs out. Marigolds, yep, marigolds. So these are all those yellow squashes and tomatoes in this bed, as well as some carrots. So that's looking really good. This bed is just going crazy. Let's look down in here. Yep, there's a zucchini right there. So we're starting to get some zucchinis in. See down in there all the beautiful flowers and stuff. Really cool. And there's also some potatoes in this bed that just volunteered themselves. So that's a big, nice bed full of stuff. Right here we got herbs, and then we got beets that are going to seed. See all these seeds? I'm going to be collecting all the seeds. So right now they're not quite ready, but pretty soon I'm going to put like a ground cloth down around there and collect all the seeds for the beets. Purple cabbage, regular cabbage, kale is starting to come back. I cut it way back, and now it's starting to grow back. So we're going to start producing that again, and more potatoes. I will show you in a minute my guerrilla gardening area. That is where it's just an area on the side of my property, front of my property, where I just let Jerusalem artichokes and potatoes grow crazy, and just let them do their thing. We got peppers coming in here. This is some jalapeno, some no-heat jalapeno. Never tried it before, but that's interesting because I really like the flavor of jalapenos. Also some better bells, sweet bells. Yeah, so there's some peppers there. And then here we got a bunch of garlic we need to pull up. Getting garlic scapes. Garlic scapes are amazing. If you don't know what a garlic scape is, it's this right here. See how it curves up and it curves around? It's got this little head where it goes to seed. Amazing. Cut that stalk off, cut this off, dice it up, put it in some stuff, saute it in some butter or some olive oil with whatever you're cooking. Oh, yummy. Really good. Over here we got the rhubarb doing really well. Some more garlic I got to pull up. Some of my onions went to seed. I was letting them, and then I decided not to because they stopped producing green onions. And green onions is what I go for. I don't really worry about the bulbs because then you got to pull them up and replant them. I just let them go year after year and produce lots of green onions all year round. Even when it was covered in snow, I was still harvesting green onions. And you see random tomatoes and different things in different places because my neighbor lady gave me a bunch of starts and I had to find places for them. So it is what it is. Over here we got strawberries, really good. Lots of nutrients, sweet, something good for the morale. SHTF happens, whatever. This bed was beans, but they were pretty sparse. So what I did is I moved the beans to this side of the bed, and then I planted in a bunch of that. I had to find room for these tomato starts. So the tomatoes all went in there also. So that's beans and tomatoes. Over here we got some more marigolds we didn't use. We got Swiss chard, we got sage, we got a bunch of peppers. Hopefully you can see in the light the peppers growing along here. A bunch of different kinds of peppers. We got another area with strawberries and our blueberry plants. These ones, the first three here are second year plants, and this one here is like a 4-year plant. So they're doing really good. We got a bunch of lavender. Just, you know, the variety is good to have in your garden. And it's just really cool. Looks like a jungle here. Got a bunch more peppers there. Tabasco hot peppers, Serrano peppers, and Mucho Nacho jalapeno peppers. Over here we got some pepperoncinis and some other ones. In this bed here, sorry I passed it, bunch of green beans, and these are volunteering themselves. So I don't know what they are yet until they start growing something. They're either like a cucumber or a squash or maybe a melon. I'm not sure. I maybe had melon and melon seeds in my compost. So maybe that's what it is. I'm not sure yet, but we'll find out soon enough. Over here we got a bunch of, we got a couple eggplants. Down in there you can see right there. And then we got some Brussels sprouts. And then over there is cucumbers, which one of them's coming in well. The other ones I planted later on. They'll be coming in soon. This is all way more important than tactical stuff. We got to produce food. Food. Like all these strawberries. We've been harvesting strawberries like crazy. My kids and grandkids have been out here just chowing strawberries all day long. And that's another benefit. When you're growing lots of food, you can have your kids friends, whatever it is, just out here enjoying all the goodness, all the natural, organic, homegrown foods that taste way better than the stores. As you notice, this bed I'm just passing here was all potatoes. This bed here is all potatoes with the exception of the Jerusalem artichoke that decided to volunteer itself and grow up there. And then this bed, I'm not really like super hardcore gardening this year. So as you see a lot of dead space in this bed. But what it was there were supposed to be a bunch of peas. They didn't really come up. But I got other things going to seed. I'm letting them, and some potatoes. You know, it's just such a good thing. And there's this bed again, you can see. So that's a little garden tour of what I feel is way more important than tactical. I know tactical's cool, tactical's sexy, tactical's running around with all the gear and all the cool boy toys and stuff like that. But, you know, at some point we got to mature and realize that it's not just all about tactical stuff. That that's all fun and probably will be useful, not downplaying it. There is definitely a time and a place for that, and that probably will come. But it's much more likely that we're going to have to eat. So I recommend growing food, stockpiling food as the number one thing that you should be doing. Do the tactical stuff also, do all the other things also, but grow your own food. Vitally important. I love you guys. Please subscribe, hit that like button, share the videos, comment below, join us on Patreon, and check out our overlanding channel, Haven Ridge Adventures. Have a wonderful day, and blessings to you and yours.